Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Otis
And I'm Heavenly.
and welcome to our channel. So we did about a minute long introduction telling you why we were on YouTube to talk about family relationships, children, marriage and all that good stuff. But before we started giving you our perspective on these things, we figured we probably need to tell you who we are first and to tell you a little bit about us and how we met. Yeah, she don't want to tell y'all this lie, so I'll go ahead and tell you the truth. So we met officially in like April of 2007, but we saw each other around 2006, somewhere in the fall. I remember coming out of church and I went to Walmart to pick up some groceries, and then I saw this little bubbly little thing coming out of the freezer section. And, she was smiling and waving all frantically, I didn't know if I should be fearful of my life or not. But, I figured that when I see people and they smile and wave, okay, they must go to the same church. And so it was after church too, so I was like, yeah, it's a good chance. So I was like, okay, cool. She was just excited to see me. I would be excited too, So some time went by. Now, interesting enough, I had just started dating someone and I was really into this person, so I wasn't trying to meet anybody. So, we left it at that. And she'll tell you also that she was dating somebody. I think it was her high school sweetheart or whoever it was, but she was all into me, but so she left him. But no, we'll get to that point in a minute. So, some time goes by, the young lady and I broke up, and I was introduced to somebody else that just wasn't going to work at all. And I used to serve in a singles ministry. Now, I was the resounding voice that would tell you that the singles ministry was not a hookup ministry. So anytime I invited anybody out to our events or just a meeting, it was to let them know, hey, you don't have to worry about anybody trying to take you home. We're simply here trying to better our lives as we serve Christ. And so some time goes by and we were in a meeting and who comes in and I'm like, there's that girl again. But even before that, after I saw her at Walmart, I would start seeing her around, if I turn around, she would be there. If I was going out of the door or something, she would be there. And I started to think she's a little stalkerish, but because we had security, I was like, cool, if I need to yell for help, I could do that. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just a coincidence that I keep seeing her, and then she comes into this meeting and I'm like, there's that young lady again. Okay, let's see, because I really wanted somebody, I desired someone who understood the work of ministry and someone who knew how to serve. And so here she comes and she's all bubbly or whatever, but she comes in like full force and signs up for one of the lead positions that I probably should have signed up for, but I was cool with the role that I played in that ministry. So she comes on and she's signing up for this big leadership role, and I'm like, she just don't know what she's getting into. But I was impressed. I was like, okay, she may mean well, and then interesting enough, I got put on her team. I was cool with just being me, but I got put on her team, so we got a chance to get to know one another. I remember her inviting me, or the team rather, over to her house, like for a team meeting, and she had these little pizza rolls, and I'm like, what is this? But she meant well. I figured she means well, but she don't feed well, but cool, I'm just looking at all this. I'm like, she could have just hit me up. I would have brought some pizzas over, but whatever, to each their own. And we were texting back and forth one night, and, and as big as I am on not asking people out on a text message, especially then, that was 2007, I was like, okay, what are you doing out to church? And she was like, oh, nothing. So I invited her out. We went out to TGI Fridays and, had a good meal, and it was pretty cool. Now, she wouldn't, you didn't. I couldn't pick her up from the house. Now, the stalker wouldn't let me pick her up from her house, right? So.
Okay, we're gonna pause him right here.
What? I'm telling the truth.
Okay. So, there's always his side and my side and the truth, right? That's right there in the middle. So I'm gonna tell the middle part, which is the truth, and my side, which is the truth. So there were some truthful things that he said. However, me being a stalker was definitely not one of them. The truth is, we did meet in 2007 around April officially, and we met at church. Now, I did see him around church after I had saw him at the grocery store. So that Walmart grocery, that walking down the aisle, I saw him. Hey, how you doing? That's true. Yes, I'm a happy person.
She was excited to
So,
see me.
okay, yeah, I thought he was very attractive, and I was like, hey, you know, and that was it. However, the part about being a stalker, which I don't know how he gets this part confused with what really happened, but I did want to start getting involved in church. Yes, I was dating someone who was not my high school sweetheart, but I was dating someone at the time. But I wanted to get involved in church and do more. So I did. I joined the singles ministry, not knowing that he would actually be there, but I did join. And I did.
Tell the truth and shame the devil in the name that is above all names.
Wait a minute. I didn't know you would be at that meeting. Let's say it like that. So I go to the meeting and he's there, and I was like, oh, there's that guy. I was like, let me go introduce myself to him, right? And the funny part is, our pastor had just done a relationship series back in February, talking about how the man should pursue the woman, and it's not the woman's place to pursue the man, but it's okay for the woman to drop a seed. So I was like, oh, let me go drop my seed by introducing myself. So I did. I went over to him. He was actually talking to one of my cousins at the time, and I interrupted, and I was like, hey. I was like, my name is Heavenly. What's your name? And he goes, no, this is the part that he just completely forgets. He responds with, hey, what's up? I'm Otis. Here's my phone number. Here's my house number, my cell number, my email address. So he's like giving me all of his contacts. Like, I'm like, okay, whatever. And he was like, if you need anything with the, help with the ministry, you just, let me know, reach out to me, and I'll be happy to help you.
Thunder?
No, that's not thunder, because you did say that.
I didn't tell you that.
You did not say that you would be happy to help me if I
I don't
needed.
remember saying
You
that.
just said it earlier in the recording. Y'all,
We'll play this
y'all
back.
gotta watch him. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So, after I did invite the team over to my apartment and to have a meeting, and I provided little
Yes, tell the truth.
I provided the little Tostino's pizza, and I cut them in cute little squares. I had chips and I had drinks, just a little snack. Like, I wasn't trying to. I thought it was a nice gesture. I didn't know. I didn't know I would be getting judged. Like, who does that? Who does that? Anyway, so we have this meeting and everything, and then we're texting back and forth, and that part's true. We were texting, and then you invited me out for dinner. Or lunch, I'm sorry, after church. Is that not true?
That's true.
Okay, so that is true. He invited me for lunch. So instead of him coming to my house on this first date, but how did you come to my house though? That didn't make sense. Now that I think about it, our first date, that you had come over.
I don't remember.
You had come over for the meeting.
Maybe the meeting was afterwards.
Maybe the meeting was afterwards. Okay, but I do remember on our first date, he picked me up at my cousin's house because I did not want him to come to my house. So the meeting had to be after the first date. So yeah, and so we went to eat at TGI Fridays, had a nice date. Right?
Yeah, I think it was a
It was
date.
nice. I didn't show my true colors on the
You know,
date.
they say that you meet the representative.
That is true. I will admit I had my representative because I mean, here's this guy. I thought he was very attractive. He met all my little checklists except for a few things. I wanted someone tall. He's taller than me, but didn't meet the height that I was looking for. More chestnut Idris Elba type height. But it's okay. But he had the skin complexion that I was looking for. So I checked that off. He was very articulate. Check that off. He had a job. Check that off. He had a car. Check. And a place to live. Check. So I'm like, okay, we can live without that one, right? So we enjoy our dinner. Because I'm very, what's the word? Silly, I guess. I didn't show her, she stayed at home that day because I didn't feel like it was the right time to bring her out. You just met somebody, you don't want to be like, dang, she's immature or whatever. So she stayed at home. So I was I was on my A game. I was like the mature me during this whole date or whatever. So, but it was a very good date, I thought.
Yeah, you could tell that she was holding something back. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe because you were just first time hanging out. You know, if I had known this little silly, goofy person, you know, I don't know if we'd be sitting here talking to you now. But, you know, because I'm an introvert and I was very serious, and, you know, it's actually it's because of her, the reason why I'm bubbly now, I guess you can say that. I'm more welcoming than I used to be. I'm still an introvert, and I'm very happy being an introvert. I think I'm a serial introvert, if that's such a word. But it's really because of her and who she is and wanting to have fun. You know, I was serving ministry and I'd be standing doing something and she, you know, telling me to smile. I'm like, but I'm smiling for, I'm serving, leave me alone. You know, to just let me do me.
That was one of his struggles, was that facial expression, which I think people can read me by my facial expressions, but I feel like when you're serving in ministry, you need to have a welcoming face. People want to feel welcome and not like, he looked like, for example, he would take up offering and he would go and collect offering. I'm like, how? If I saw his face, I would want to give because he looked mad. He looked like he was made to take up offering. And then he would go and stand up front after they collected the offering and he just standing there like frowning, or I don't know what he was doing.
I wouldn't be frowning. Now, my relaxed face, I guess, it just looks like I'm upset. I'm just relaxed. I could be happy. Now, here's the thing. If you aren't smiling, people ask, well, what's wrong? And if you do smile, people say, well, what you smiling about? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to smile or not?
Oh, but people only ask that when you're not consistent. I never had nobody ask me what you smiling about.
My relaxed face, I guess I just look like I'm not welcoming. Like
exactly.
I have a permanent smile on.
And you cannot serve in any level of capacity in leadership, in my opinion, with that face that he had.
But
it's
you
better
was attracted
now.
to that face.
But
shame the devil in the name
you know
that is a.
You know what? Let me tell you something. Listen, I knew we had work to do if we were gonna get together.
What?
That was my mission. Like, God placed me in your life to help you with that, and that's how we're here, right? That's how we're here with this new face. Look.
So after TGI Fridays, I actually had a tire issue and I had to go fix it. She thought it was a setup so I can show her. I wasn't trying to show you where I lived. I already thought you were sort of stalkerish, but I had to fix my tire. But she actually hung out with me the whole day. I don't remember what we did after TGI Fridays.
Yeah, so you had your little tire issue. And come to find out, he lived down the street from me. And I was like, dang, he been living this close this whole time. Never really, interacted with one another. But anyway, he took me to a barbecue to one of his friend's house, which I was not dressed the part. Like, I thought we were going to lunch and then he was going to take me home. So I had on this cute little outfit. Do you remember what I wore?
Yeah, it was all white.
It was not all white.
It was white and black.
Okay, almost. So I had on a black top that was real cute and these
it was
pinstripe black and white pants. Yes, and the stripes weren't black, so the pants were white. He takes me to a barbecue outside.
Well, you could have brought a change of clothes and said, hey, can I go change or something?
Well, I didn't know we were going to a barbecue.
I didn't either.
Okay.
I got that message in the day, and I was like, let's go by my buddy's house.
To a barbecue, and I have on white pants. So,
I took you over there, so I felt comfortable. One, I was already scared for my life when we went to TGI Fridays.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Listen, do you hear this?
I was afraid.
He was afraid, but he asked me to go to lunch.
Because I felt if I didn't, then I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to y'all now.
Oh my. Okay.
What was the name of that show that used to come on?
It don't even matter. Let's keep going.
So, we hung out that whole day, went to the movies.
We did. We walked around the mall.
That's what we did after TGI
Yeah,
Fridays.
we walked around the mall. We did. I don't remember what we went to
some
see.
other stuff. So we spent the whole day together, which was pretty cool. I don't remember.
And that's when I noticed number 2, the thing about him. Like, we're walking around the mall, you know how you like go into stores, you like, oh, this looks nice. Well, I'm not cheap.
She's frugal.
I'm frugal. Very.
Extremely.
Yes. So he, on the other hand,
I am very frivolous.
exactly. So he's walking into these stores, and the things that he's looking at were in the front of the store. That's not my MO. My MO is to go to the back of the store or go towards the back on the side, because that's where they have that red sign that has the clearance on it. So I'm like, okay, so he likes to spend money. That, you know, that's cool. I'm not impressed. That didn't impress me that he had money to spend.
But
I
look
was not
though,
impressed
I
at
wasn't.
all.
That's what I did.
I know that, but I'm saying, like, some people be like, oh, he got money, he likes to spend money, wop.
I'm glad
No.
because it's just more for me to spend.
Okay, so then you will find later in this series of videos another segment of this whole conversation. This is the intro to that one, so we're gonna come back to that. But go ahead.
So I don't. You kind of messed me up
I'm
now.
sorry.
I didn't know you felt that way.
I did. I felt that way.
I wasn't trying to impress you. I saw something I liked. It was a red flag.
It was not a red flag, but it was like, okay, now we got to work on his face, and we got to work on what these spending habits are like.
No, because here's the thing. Didn't really grow up in a household where we talked about finances and budgeting, paying bills, credit, or anything like that. I was just simply told, if you want something, work for it, save your money, buy it. That's what I did. So I knew to work. I had 3 jobs at one point in time. And that's when I was getting ready to move to Nashville. So I wanted to put as much money in my account as I possibly could, so that when the job that I was working at, they were getting ready to shut down, and I got a severance package for it. And so I wanted to make sure I had enough money to sustain myself, because the living arrangement I had when I was gonna move up here fell through. Don't know what happened, but nevertheless, I was able to move up here, get my own apartment without a job for, I don't know, like 3 months. And then I started working, and you know, it was cool. So I knew to work.
He knew to work, so we got that laid out. He works. Great.
Budgeting.
That's a check. Budgeting.
Then and still now,
Yes, so that'll be a segue to our next video, right? But how did we get here today? So after that first date, we were inseparable. I don't think we spoke every day. We still went out, had fun, and hung out with one another. I don't quite remember there being a conversation on, are we dating, or like, what are we doing?
It's the whole thing was understood that need to be said.
Right. So we just kind of rolled with the punches, and then you proposed to me.
Yeah, 3 years later.
3 years later, so.
Yep. 2.
Was it 2?
2.5.
I don't remember.
November 8th, 2000.
I don't remember. So.
9.
Okay. Well, 2009, he proposed to me. It was the day before my birthday, so I do remember that part. Just don't remember
We got married
what year
in
it was.
2010.
Okay, so we got married. It was 2009. We got married. I do know that, June 12th, 2010. So we're celebrating
10 years.
10 years this year. So by the grace of God, thank you, Jesus. The moral of this story is that we have a journey of a lot of stories to share and tell, which is why we're here.
You're probably gonna laugh. If you aren't already laughing, you'll probably cry with us. We're gonna be very real and very transparent. Some conversations we've had and some things that we're gonna share, they're gonna be uneasy for us, but we wholeheartedly believe in marriage. We wholeheartedly believe in love. We believe in family, and we just wanna give you some ideas and perspectives to help keep people married. I don't know the statistics, but they say that 50%, if you will, of marriages fail or end in divorce. And we've entertained that thought, like we'll just back out because it's easy to back out. But we believe in it, we believe in one another. And whatever the issue is, some cases are not being resolved. We don't believe in domestic violence. Get out of that foolishness now. We don't believe in some other ideas. if you don't feel the love, and I know there's been times from her where she just haven't felt love from me. I heard her, but was I really listening? Because I'm here. I'm not out doing anything. I'm not out being with anyone else. I come home. What are you tripping on? That was my perspective. But when I had to really sit down and listen to her, no, I was just checking on you because I know it takes you 30 minutes to come home from church, and it's been an hour and I haven't even heard from you. I'm not considering that. I may have stopped at a friend's house. I may have stopped at the store. I may have stopped at Walmart to look at some stuff or whatever, but could have just simply put in a phone call. Hey, I'm at Walmart. I'm talking to my buddy David, because I would see one of my church members who's a good friend now. I would see him there, and we would just sit somewhere in one of the aisles, and we would just laugh and converse like, we don't have anything to do. His wife would call, and then Heavenly would call, and we're like, okay, man, we got to wrap this up because we got to go before we get in trouble. But really taking an honest look at ourselves and to say, okay, what am I contributing to this? And what are my faults in this? Because if I entertain the idea of walking away from the person that I said God created just for me, then what is the real problem? So you can look at the things that I've had to go through when I grew up that shaped my ideas. And, for our children, for instance, I don't want them saying what to me, her, or any adult, and to one another. We don't respond with what. What for me is very disrespectful. And, at first she didn't understand that. Now she's like, don't say what, because to me it's just disrespectful. I don't think there's any nice way to respond with what. Hey, Heavenly, what? It just doesn't make sense. And even in the way that we communicated with one another, I have a cousin, and I oftentimes use this. She already knows what I'm going to say, that asks me, why didn't you tell me marriage was so hard? And I thought about it for a moment, and I told him, I said, marriage really isn't hard. So we put the blame on marriage, but marriage is made up of two people, and these two people have to become one. And so you have two, as my pastor says, you have two histories trying to come together as one. And that's the issue, because you have everything that you experienced when you were growing up and even in your adulthood, and them the same. You have to bring these two worlds together, and it's really like an impact, but you have to figure out how to slow down that impact so that you can become one without blowing up. I think that's going to be, well, we've already told you. That's going to be the reason for this video series. We truly believe in love and marriage. We believe in, if you haven't already found, we are definitely believers. Now, marriage is not about religion. It's not about beliefs. So if you're listening to this and you're watching this and you're like, well, I'm not a believer, so I don't think it's going to be for me. No, stick around. Because the same issues that you face in your marriage is going to be some of the same issues that we face in ours. And there's a plethora of other marriages that can say the same. All of it takes work. And so we just want you to join us on this journey, laugh with us, cry with us. But nevertheless, we just want you to join us. So, hey, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment. Tell us your ideas and your views and perspectives. We will read and we will respond to them. But we just want you to be blessed by this video series.
I agree.
Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. And we'll see you next time.